What's up, Cardinal fans? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of Canfield football all season and proud of it. Coach's Corner Playoff Edition, sponsored by Coca's Pizza, a proud sponsor of Canfield. I cannot thank Steve Coca enough for the sponsorship of this show each and every week. So head on over to Coca's Pizza Friday night, fans. Canfield Nation, they need you. It's going to be a great football game. Akron St. Vincent-St. Mary will come to town. We'll have it for you on YSNLive.com at 7 o'clock. So head on over to Coca's. He'll have it on, and we'll watch this Canfield football team get another victory. Glad to be joined again by Coach Pavlansky. Coach, again, thanks for joining us again. Week 3 of the playoffs. That's hard to believe.
It is, Steve. Great to be with you again this week, and that means good things are happening in Canfield football. So, as you said, I mean, it would be week 9 in the regular season, how fast that goes, week 3 of the playoffs, and I think our guys are really looking forward to the Friday night matchup.
Well, there's no doubt. It's going to be a great matchup, Canfield Nation, with St. V's coming to town. We'll get into that, Coach. But I go to last week. Kenston comes to town. We talked last week. That's a good football team. And you were spot on. The tight end was phenomenal. That target there for the next couple of years for them, they will be reckoned with. But, again, impressed with your football team. I thought that I wanted to get your opinion. My first question, the bye week started a little slow. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I mean, offensively, we started slow. Defensively, we didn't. Defensively, our guys, got after them from the beginning. I mean, that team was averaging 31 points a game, and, we shut them out to the last 18 seconds. I mean, we gave up first down here and there on that first drive, but, overall, I was pleased with the start of the ball game. We knew it'd be a battle, and it certainly was, and at halftime, our guys went in and regrouped and, made a couple of adjustments with them and what they thought would work, and came out in the second half and played a really good half of football.
Yeah, that was a great defensive effort. Coach Hurdley, again, hats off to the defense of the Canfield Nation. We will need them again big this week against St. V's. We'll talk about that, but I watched this football game again. The offensive line continues to get better. They opened up some holes, but I remember talking with you on the scoreboard show. Brock Lowry, Coach, just continues to I don't know if grow up is a good word. He's already played a lot as a sophomore, but his progress and Ethan going to that slot position, catching footballs, this offense continues to get better every week. You have to be pleased with that.
It has gotten better every week, Steve. We're able to tweak it each week to, according to the opponent that we're going to play and what they're going to give us. And I think Brock, the word from Brock is he's matured since game 1, really since the summertime. Came in, obviously, he's got a lot of tools to work with, but the mental part of the game, I think he has really grasped, so far, and that's what's helped him individually. But he'll be the first one to tell you that, the offensive line, his receivers, obviously the backs, Sam Marone, Crawford, Ryan Schneider, have just done a great job of taking the pressure off of him, that it's certainly not a one-man show.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Crawford and Schneider, Coach, are tough, hard-nosed running backs. I mean, Sam Marone obviously gets a lot of the pub, a lot of the tough yards. But Crawford and Schneider are those two guys that alternate a little bit. Crawford had the better game, got a few more carries this past week. But that has to be such a luxury when that offensive line starts getting the push that they do with it's got to be hard on the defense, because now you have 3 guys that can run the football, and Brock is a runner that can take off, and with your receivers. Is that something you want to see this offense continue to do?
I think from a defensive standpoint, it's difficult to defend a team that has multiple weapons, and they use them. And I think, our offensive guys have done a great job of putting all those guys in positions to be successful. And, if you have only 1 or 2 guys, you got to look up each play, a little bit easier to defend.
Yeah, we're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner Playoff Edition. Akron St. Vincent-St. Mary's comes to town. This show is sponsored by Coca's Pizza, a great sponsor for this football team. He'll have the game on Friday night over at Coca's. So Canfield Nation, hop on over and watch the football team. How's this week been? Talk about practice before we get into St. V's a little bit. Let's talk how this Canfield football team has been. Had Luke Morrell on right before you, another outstanding senior leader of this football team, plays defensive back, does a great job. And, Coach, they all say the same thing, and that's what impresses me the most. 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. Talk about this week's progress in practice.
We've had a really good week of practice, Steve. There's no doubt about that. I think our kids are thankful it's not another bye week.
Sure.
We've got a really good opponent staring us in the face on Friday night. And, they've been locked in and, watched their tape, their fair amount of tape that they should be watching. And, in practice, asking questions. It's, very curious team about why we're doing something and what's the philosophy and thought process behind it. And, once they hear the positions being put in by the coaches, they buy in real quickly. And, we've gotten better each day and, looking forward to Friday night.
All right, let's get into Friday night. That's what everybody wants to know about Akron St. Vincent-St. Mary. This has been a nice rivalry for Canfield. There's no question about it. We'll talk about that. We talked off air. Canfield Nation, you have a good football team coming to town. You look at their record, Coach. You look at their schedule. I've said this, very deceiving. This is a good football team coming to town. Talk about Akron St. V's a little bit.
Yeah. It's the best football team, Steve, we've seen so far. And, that's not surprising because it's the playoffs, the third week of the playoffs. And, we're down to the final 8 in our region, and anybody, can win the region, to be honest with you. And when you get this deep in the playoffs, everybody's going to be good. St. V's, a tradition-rich program. I believe they've won 6 state titles. 2015, they got the best of us in the first round over there. 2017, they got the best of us in the regional finals at Salem, 13-10, and we're right there nip and tuck with them. And hopefully Friday evening we can flip that score.
I think so. Obviously, a couple close games with them. Home field has to be nice. But I wanted to ask you that was a great point. I talked with Mike Ackelson and Nick Zeronis with this on the scoreboard. This is the normal playoff setup now. 8 teams. Yeah. This is the old school, the old way, Coach, and I could be that guy because we get along very well. And as I look at all these brackets, I know that's not on your attention list, but my goodness, Chardon, Geneva, New Philadelphia, Aurora. I'm sorry, I have the wrong bracket.
No, that's the right bracket.
No, that's the right bracket. I'm sorry. New Philadelphia, Aurora, Streetsboro, Dover, which you played, and Canfield and St. V's. Mm-hmm. Those are the best 8 teams in that region, correct?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, if we had played a 10-game season, I think you would see the same 8 teams in the playoffs. It's certainly the best 8 teams, I believe. And, somebody's going to come out. And when they come out of this region, they're going to be well prepared, for what they see in the state semifinals.
I think it's going to be the Cardinals. I love to say that. I love what you guys do. But going into all this, when you look at that, and we just said that as a coach, you had to vote on all this, and all your coaches did. That has to make you guys, as coaches in this region, feel good because you got it right.
Yeah, no doubt. We didn't have coaches, do something that was unethical,
sure,
unscrupulous. They voted in our region. They voted for the top teams in our region. And, certainly I think our region got it right. Those were the 8 seeds going into it. And, they're the teams coming out.
Well, hopefully let's get Canfield Nation out. It's a home game. It's huge. Tickets are limited, I'm sure. I see Coach social medias. I see everybody. How can I get a ticket to the game? Those are hard to do, out of your control. But Canfield fans will have it for you on ysnlive.com. Richie Giuliano and Gary Niddle have called Canfield all season long, do a great job, and I know they're pumped up for this one. But talk about this football team, St. V, some of the things that the Canfield community can expect to see from a quality football team.
Steve, well coached. They're as good technically as anybody we've played. Skill-wise, athletic-wise, our fans will see it changing.
Okay.
And up front, they're big, physical kids. Reminds you a lot of the New Philadelphia line. And, that's a dangerous combination to have. They want to run the football first like we do. And then they can throw it. There's no doubt. Their quarterback, 6'2", 225 pounds, and he can sling it if he needs to. But they want to rely on the running game. Conversely, defensively, they play our defense, which is nice, but they don't move as much as we move. They're 2 big boys inside, or 6'2", 265 pounds. Maceo Williams is going to go to Kent State on a full ride, and the other one's a junior. He's 6'1", 285 pounds, and it's tough to move those guys. Their linebackers as a quarterback, 6'2", 225, 6'4", 220. So you try to look to run to the edge, and they got great speed on the outside. Well coached. It's going to be a challenge for our offense to move the football. And, we've got to figure out a way early on get into a formation, get into a couple plays that our kids are comfortable with, and try and sustain the ball. Because if not, the more they have it, the more trouble we're going to be in.
Is this one of those games, Coach, where both staffs are making adjustments those first couple drives? Obviously,
Yeah,
something
your stuff that you run, what brought you here, but you find out what their adjustments are going to be to your favorite formations and favorite plays, and they're going to do the same thing to us. And at that point, then you start making some adjustments, and hopefully you make the right ones, and the kids can execute, and you can put some points on the board.
Well, I got a lot of faith in this coaching staff. I have a lot of faith in you, and no disrespect to your coaching staff, but talking to these kids every week, I have a ton of faith in this football team, because I see a team that, number one, is coached well, but two, is hungry. And I say that to you because they play with a passion that I don't see a lot of football teams play with. And I mean that sincerely. They do things the right way. I think in talking with you, I know the respect that they have as a football team for St. V's. And I think, in my opinion, that's the biggest key of this football game. You're going to see a Canfield football team, Canfield Nation, that's prepared, but not only prepared, is hungry to make a statement in the Yo and get a big home playoff victory.
Well, I appreciate that, Steve. We got a tremendous senior class, and they have really, really bought into 1 week at a time, and they're not worried about what's out there in front of them if they happen to win Friday evening. They just want to go out Friday evening, play the best that they can play, give themselves an opportunity to win in the fourth quarter, and see what happens.
Well, let's do that. But here's what maybe you could answer. But they have fun. They really do. They play the game hard, but there's a lot of fun on this football team, isn't there? Talk about that.
There is, at certain times in practice, you're able to kid with guys, and guys are kidding with you, and they're kidding with each other. And, it's not all serious. And they know when to turn it on, turn it off. And the locker room's fun with those guys. And, it's a special group in a lot of ways. And, the seniors have a great perspective about when to work and when you can, let your foot off the gas a little bit. But, it has certainly been an enjoyable group to be around. I can only hope that, we get another week with them.
Well, let's go get another week. I got to ask you, we're with Coach Pav, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Coca's Pizza. Get on over there for the big game, or hop on ysnlive.com, 7 o'clock with Richie and Gary. They'll have it. Coach Pav's keys to a big victory Friday night at Canfield.
Certainly, the team that can run the football and stop the run has a great opportunity Friday evening. Both teams want to run the football. Last week we had a team come in that wanted to throw the ball more, and, we convinced our guys, you still got to stop the run. We held a really good Kenston offense to 58 yards rushing. We rushed it for about 148. We end up winning the game going away. That's one. Run the ball, stop the run. Secondly, we need much better cover teams this week. They've got a return guy, number 7, Darian Lewis, who's going to the University of Akron as a DB. He'll be the best athlete on the field. If he touches the ball in the kicking game, it's a huge mistake on our part. We need great cover teams. We got to keep the ball away from him, when we're kicking the football. And then finally, it's just going to come down to turnovers. In 2017, we did a tremendous job protecting the football all year long. The St. V game, we turned it over 4 times to 3 times, and we lose the football game by 3 points. We cannot turn the football over. We've got to win the turnover battle. If we can do those 3 things, again, we're going to have a tremendous shot in the fourth quarter of winning.
I think Canfield's going to get a big win. I'm confident in that. Coach, here's the biggest thing watching this team play. In my opinion, the big thing in this game Friday night, you've done this a long time. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs in this game. There's going to be that time where things don't go the way this football team wants it to go. Mm-hmm. That is what I put my hat on. This football team has battled adversity. They've been down before. So I think the experience of being in these battle-tested games and the up and down flow is a credit to how good this football team is, and a credit to you as the head coach and your coaching staff that creates everything this football team needs to be, whether it's good things or an adverse situation. This football team's prepared, but Canfield Nation, they need you Friday night. All you fans in the stands, be as loud as you can be. Be on over at Coca's. You could be loud there, and they can hear you, hopefully, Coach, at the stadium. But best of luck to you, all the kids, your staff. I really wish you nothing but the best. And let's go get this big win against St. V's and talk next Wednesday.
Sounds good, Steve. Appreciate your time, and looking forward to a great ball game Friday night in Cardinal Stadium, Bob Dove Field.
All right, let's go get one at Bob Dove Field. Beat St. V's, and Coach, we'll talk next week. Have a good night and a good few days here. One more day of practice, and then be ready to put that ball in the tee for the big game Friday night.
Sounds good, Steve. Thanks.
All right, thanks, Coach.